Good evening, everyone. We're just going to start in a minute. Just give us a minute. First. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Welcome you all to the event today. I think we've got most of the participants in, so let's start. We are already over time. Yeah. So we have a packed 1.5 hours. So before I start, I think it's the latest news reports coming in with Indian exports at an all-time high. Despite the last 2 years, and it looks like we're going to be hitting 400 billion in merchandising exports for this financial year. So I think that's fantastic. And on that extremely positive note, I would welcome all of you, the eBay team, our special guests, media, to this event, and all of those who are also watching this as a live stream at the unveiling of the India Small Online Business Trade Report. This report highlights the participation of Indian SMBs in the global cross-border trade market. As all of us know, the contribution of SMBs to the Indian economy, contribution towards household incomes and upliftment of a large majority of our population cannot be highlighted enough. So after all, they employ more than 41 million people. So that's a huge, huge part of our economy. Over the last 2 years, they have been challenged in many ways, the SMBs and the entrepreneurs themselves. But their spirit of innovation, the courage that they have shown has really helped them overcome the situation. Many of them have also taken this opportunity to explore cross-border e-commerce and scale their business across geographical boundaries. At eBay, we're extremely proud to work closely with these SMBs and enable their journey to continue being a driver for the growth of the Indian economy and a driver of the country's entrepreneurial endeavors. On behalf of the eBay team, I think it's really time to say it's time for all local businesses to go global. Look forward to an interesting and interactive evening today. I would like to begin by introducing our special guests for the evening. I would like to start with Dr. Ajay Sahai. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Dr. Ajay Sahai is the Director General and CEO of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, also known as FIO, which was set up by the Ministry of Commerce and the trade bodies in 1965. FIO is the apex export promotion organization in the country with membership of 35,000 exporters across the country. During its tenure, the membership has increased from 7,200 to about 35,000, which is quite remarkable. Dr. Sahai was earlier the joint DGFT in the policy division of the DGFT, where he played a key role in the formulation of the foreign trade policy from 1996 to 2003. He has also been a member of the high-level task force, the Government of India on Export Policy. He has been conferred with the Rajiv Gandhi Excellence Award for Best Achiever in Export Promotion and has received appreciation from the World Bank for his contribution to the Ease of Doing Business report for 2016, 2017, and 2018. Thank you very much, sir, for joining today. And appreciate your presence here today. I would also like to introduce our other special guest, Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director of the GJPC. Mr. Ray has joined the GJPC in 1999 as Director for the Eastern Region. It marked the beginning of what has been a 12-year journey of professional excellence that has led him to the highest executive post of the director of GJPC. Mr. Ray has been instrumental in coming up with the Manikanchan, which is the first sector-specific special economic zone in the country for the Eastern region, and is instrumental in the transformation of the India International Jewelry Show, which is now a mega show that it is today. He is a force behind the creation of the Gem and Jewelry Skill Council of India. And as all of you know today, Gems and Jewelry is one of the highest foreign exchange earners of the country, where India polishes almost 14 out of 15 diamonds the world makes, which makes him probably one of the busiest people in the country at this point in time. So welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining the event. I would also like to introduce the eBay leadership team briefly. So I hope everyone's on camera. Yeah. Ronak Raheja, I think all of you know Ronak. He's been with the eBay team for a long time, head of marketplace experience, and has probably engaged with most of you over the course of his time at eBay. Also, I would like to welcome Ashish Gupta. Ashish is the head of legal and government relations for eBay in India. Aarti, I don't know if Aarti is on the call, but Aarti heads GCX, which is the customer support for India and Southeast Asia. Lastly, I'd like to do a quick introduction of Vidmay. Most of you have probably met and engaged with Vidmay. Vidmay is the country manager for India and Southeast Asia. He has over 18 years of experience in e-commerce, cross-border trade, online payments and shipping, and brings him with him an entrepreneurial drive and track record for building and scaling businesses grounds up across India and Southeast Asia. He was responsible for the launch of retail import business with an end-to-end integration of supply platforms, payment and logistics, and influencing policy changes both at the RBI and Government of India, which allowed top international merchants to sell directly in India. He's been actively involved both in the India business with this over many years now. And I would like to request Vidmay to open the evening with his remarks and also a quick welcome for guests. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Pawan. For those of you who don't know Pawan, he heads our category and marketing for us. So thanks, Pawan, for that. And it's quite exciting times to be, like Pawan said, the highest ever export year, financial year for this year, as well as what we are seeing with our online exports growing from strength to strength. So I take this opportunity once again to invite and thank Dr. Sahai for gracing the occasion and Mr. Ray for joining us. Both DGFT as FIO as well as GJPC have been great partners for us in our endeavor of growing online exporters in India. What I would like to do is give you a preface about why we are here, right? One of the reasons why we are here is through this report, create awareness about the opportunities that our SMBs have. SMBs contribute to 8% of our GDP, 45% of our manufacturing, and 40% of our exports. And one of the biggest factors is the fact that we don't have a lot of SMBs currently as a percentage of total SMBs participating in online exports. And we're just scratching the surface of it. And through this report, we want to create awareness and also showcase opportunities that our existing online SMEs have leveraged and taken advantage of. And also through this report, we want to highlight the product categories, the areas / regions where we are seeing significant growth of online exporters, as well as give you insights on how we plan to take this from the current levels to multifold growth. Right? With that, I hand it over back to Pawan.
Thanks, Vidmay. I think it's really about highlighting the opportunity. I think, like Vidmay rightly said, we're still scratching the surface, and we've been working with FIO and GJPC to try and bring as many of our exporters, both from specific sectors like jewelry, which is obviously a big sector of export for us, but also from all other sectors of business onto the platform. I would like to invite Dr. Ajay Sahai to say a few words. Sir, if you don't mind. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me first thank eBay for giving me this opportunity and also bringing an excellent analysis of e-commerce retail export trend in India in the India SMB report 2021. Let me start with Adam Smith, who way back in the 19th century has said that export is the real income of the country, as the rest of the goods and services are consumed in the country. Exports leads to prosperity can be seen in the growth of many Southeast Asian economy, and Bangladesh is a recent example of that. We have also seen in the context of India that whenever GDP has clocked 8% plus, were the year when exports have also grew by 15% or more, and converse is equally true. Whenever export declined or moderated, it was difficult to sustain GDP at 5% plus. And therefore, when we are endeavoring to become a 5 trillion economy, it is extremely important that export play a pivotal role in that. And as told earlier, we are doing extremely well in exports. We are now looking towards the milestone of $400 billion export this year. And now we are moving towards a medium-term goal of $1 trillion exports in merchandise sector by 2027-28. Let me also focus on e-commerce, which is ideally suited for a country like India, which has high quality artisan, exquisite craftsmen. We have women entrepreneurs, small businesses, startups who hardly have the wherewithal to go for conventional mode of exports. Some of the flagship program of the government of India, like GI or One District, One Product, can also show result in very short term if they are supplemented with e-commerce exports. And that's why we are now working with the government to bring a separate chapter on e-commerce in the new foreign trade policy, so that the focus is brought on this sector, which has immense potential in the country like India. We also want that all the benefits which is flowing for the e-commerce sector. Unfortunately, today, most of them remain on paper, but we feel that in the new foreign trade policy, all these issues, the hiccups will be addressed, and we will have the facility which is given to conventional export to e-commerce exports also. We are also looking into whether we can do something on setting up the e-commerce park or e-commerce zone, so that all the stakeholders, be the fintech company, banks, courier companies, foreign post office, logistics companies, they all can be set up at one of the park or the zone. We can have little facility for warehousing the products and in the minimal operation. Such kind of model has worked very successfully in many other countries. And when I meet the youngster, I'm really so much enthused by the kind of result which they have shown in the past. Even the report which has come is very encouraging, because when I'm looking into the report, the small and medium businesses on an average are targeting around 42 countries. And when I'm looking into the Europe, the number is 21, and even in US, the number is just 16. More, I think, encouraging is the trend that even tier Y and tier Z cities are showing great results. And though, of course, when I'm looking into the fintech company, there is huge difference between tier Y city and tier Z cities, but that is not the case in the e-commerce. And we are very well enthused by the fact that some of the laggard state, for example, Bihar is now showing a growth of around 67% new businesses, and so is the Himachal Pradesh. Some of the states like Goa, J&K, and Jharkhand are also showing the numbers quite remarkable. They are growing by around 50%. So these are very interesting trend. I know there are a number of issues which needs to be taken with the government on the banking front, on the customs, on the DGFT, on the postal matter, and all these are on our radar. We have worked with the eBay, and our partnership has been quite successful in the past in flagging those issues. Many of them have already been sorted out, but still there are a lot of issues which are coming in the way in realizing the potential. I am pretty sure by the time we have the new foreign trade policy, all these issues will be addressed. I would just like to add that we are working on a workshop with the customs on, say, 17th of November at the ITPO, and we will have very enriching seminar for that. So all exporter of the northern region, and more particularly of the NCR, if they want to participate in this seminar, they should come forward, they should flag the issue so that the authorities concerned could look into resolving them as quickly. As an apex export organization, it is incumbent on us to provide a seamless way for the e-commerce exports, and we will leave no stone unturned to realize the potential. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think there was a lot of interesting stuff in your remarks, and I think one of the things that's obviously something that we're all eagerly looking forward to is the foreign trade policy. I think we expect that it's going to bring about a lot of change, which should smoothen the real challenges that the exporters, especially small and medium enterprises, do face. And I think with that, hopefully, we will see the real unlocking of e-commerce in India, especially from a cross-border trade point of view. And like you said, the ambition for eBay is to take as many of these entrepreneurs global and kind of contribute significantly to the 1 trillion goal that you just mentioned. That was really something that all of us look forward to. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to now invite Mr. Sabyasachi Ray for his remarks, and would like to look forward to hearing from you, sir.
Thank you, Pawan. It's nice to hear all these good talks, and of course, the advent of eBay, I think for us, for the export scene, was a great happening, and we identified it long time back. Before all this pandemic happened, etc. We identified it, and we started collaborating with eBay because as a product, our product has a lot of promise. Of course, as right now, Dr. Sahay has told, he is we call him as a great, knowledge bank of our, exports. So he has already told, and you have seen that he's already winning awards about the, facilitation of exports, how to ease the exports, and he's working continuously with the government. You have seen that how India has ranked, the rank has improved. But, our product, is different from all the products. I think now you're working closely, you have understood that, we always tell in the government that keep our products one side and the other products in the other side. However, the potential of our products is also huge, because we always tell that we can only achieve the potential if we can reach the end consumers, because, the two things, the value-added exports, because a lot of times we hear, because none of the materials like, diamonds, gold, etc. are produced in India. So if you want to reach the value-added exports, if you reach the consumers, then only you can reach these value-added exports. This is very important to understand that what we are talking about is the end consumer. So see, what we have seen that from B2B to B2C level, at least in our product, it can go up by 100 to 120% in our huge value, because we are, we talk about a high value product. So also there's a lot of, also baggage also, because once you talk about the high-ended product, then what happens, a lot of regulations also are there. The bottlenecks are also there. As we all understand that based on that, we are already working with the government with regards to, just to see that these bottlenecks can be eradicated. So we are there. And of course, we are hopeful, as Dr. Sahay was telling, during the unveiling of the foreign trade policy, we are already working with the government. We have already signed an MOU with eBay, and we are educating our consumers throughout India. As we all know that, as our Prime Minister's vision is there, that we have to now broad-base the exports. How to broad-base the exports? We are talking about every district should be export self-sufficient. Now, if you're talking about self-sufficiency in exports, at least for our product, we have already done a survey throughout India, and we have found out more than 300 clusters from where the gem and jewelry is either manufactured or traded. If that is true, and if we are to reach the end consumers, which is export across the borders, for us, the appraising of the product, etc., all these bring a lot of challenges. So logistically, we have to improve to that level where we can do this. eBay is the first step in that, whole chain of logistics. What do you say? At least in our part. See, the consumers have understood now. They can come out of that, per gram gold or etc. And based on that, basing the products based on that, or pricing based on that, they can come out with a consumer-based pricing. So one of the things what is a great learning for our members across these 300 clusters. What we are envisaging or what we are seeing when we are going there is that the pricing of the product, and the second thing is that how to transport the product across. So transporting the product, we are already talking with India Post. We believe that they are already very close to announcing that, at least with our intervention after eBay has come, you have seen that Surat has been transformed, as a foreign post office that has transformed. So more and more foreign post offices are coming, and we are hopeful. We have been already promised by the Indian Post that 800 cities or 800 post offices across India can ship gems and jewelry items from there. So now, as again, we are talking about small, medium business. So you just understand what kind of potential it can unlock, because at least in gems and jewelry, 85% of our members come from the small and medium businesses. So if we add to that the small clusters from there, if they can export, let's say, because their accessibility to the ports from where the export happens, because for us the exports happens within a finite time, and of course through airports. So based on that, the post offices can act as a huge plus for this. So that way, the foreign post offices can open up. We have recently, we have opened up the Bhubaneswar port, because for our products, a lot of valuation is involved for exports, etc. And of course, what we hear is that Dr. Sahay has told that on 17th they're doing a workshop with the customs or a seminar with the customs. In that case, it helps. We are also trying to enrich the customs with the knowledge how to facilitate our export. So these are the logistical end of the spectrum. But the other end of the spectrum is, of course, we all are very overjoyed that the exports are doing very well. We'll reach the $400 billion. Not only reach, we'll cross the $400 billion I was just noting at the figures at October. It was again a record month when the exports have gone up. So if we want to reach, as Dr. Sahay again has told, is a 1 trillion or half a trillion by the next, at least some shortest possible time, then the e-commerce can help us, because the value is a consumer-based value, not a B2B level value. So that way, reaching there, if you want to speed, to increase the speed to reach into that value, then this e-commerce can help us. And the second thing is that, of course, the SMB can help us, because in the end of the variety of the product can come into that. And of course, the intrinsic amount of product, and with that new code, sustainable businesses. So more and more the businesses will be going to the small and medium businesses, as we understand, as it goes by, because people will be going more into the traditional products and etc., where India has a strong background. So that way it will help us. So in the outlook where we are standing with the small medium businesses and the e-commerce, India holds the right, all those components India is having, and we are in the threshold. And we hope that with eBay coming in a very strong way and collaborating with eBay will give us that power to reach to the end consumers across the world. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of coming here, and also thank you for coming out with such a fantastic report. And of course, we'll meet more, because this is one spectrum. We have just started the journey, and I think somewhere we'll go along in this road forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your kind words and input. I think it's really a partnership where we have worked very closely with GJPC, and we can really see how GJPC puts their members at the forefront of what they do. And I think that really makes a difference to any partnership, right? So I think from that point of view, we are extremely happy to be working with GJPC. And like Mr. Sabyasachi said, the spread of what Indian jewelry brings to the global market is very vast. And in all my discussions that I've had with folks from other countries across eBay, that's jewelry is one category that they very clearly unequivocally associate with India. When they talk about jewelry, everyone says, yeah, I think India has the right mix of, no matter what type of jewelry you talk about, just plain jewelry, you talk about gemstone jewelry, you talk about diamond jewelry, I think we have the entire spectrum. So I think that's definitely a huge opportunity. I hope that 2022 happens to be the breakout year. The very good positive signals on that front, and I hope that we can realize the potential that it has. So I would really like now, I think after having heard from all our guests, I think it's the opportune time to also do the official unveiling of the report. I would like to request all, that's Dr. Ajay Sahai, Mr. Sabyasachi Chire, and Vidmay to bring up their copy of the report. I think all of you should have one copy with you. Yeah. And it would be great if you all could unveil it and just show it up. Okay, virtual backgrounds and virtual meetings make it challenging, but yes. Thank you all for bringing up the report. Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I think it's this is the best you can do in a virtual setting. It's obviously much better when you do it face to face. Hopefully, the next time we are doing anything of this sort, we are able to do it in a face to face environment. So thank you all for unveiling of the report. It was fantastic to get to hear about each of your perspectives in terms of the opportunities that SMBs bring to the global cross-border e-commerce business. I think this has the opportunity and the power to maximize their potential, and that is something that we will strive for. What we have is a short video that we would like to play, which will kind of bring out the highlights of the report. So if I could request Sunita Soumya to kind of play the video. Thank you. Thank you for that. Vidmay, if you could kind of speak briefly about the report and kind of give a few salient features that you could talk about.
All right, thanks, Pawan. I think this report, honestly surprises me at many fronts. One, the fact that most of our sellers, SMB sellers, exported to more than, on the average, 42 countries. Imagine getting market access to 42 countries. Any offline exporter would come and tell you that how difficult it is to crack one, let alone two countries. And over here, sitting in your home state and in front of your computer, you're cracking 42 countries, and at the click of a button, you can get access to 190 markets. To my mind, that's pretty powerful, and this can be an eye-opener for a lot of offline exporters as well as new entrepreneurs who want to come and sell online, right? And the next important fact of the matter is right now you have emerging markets like Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir. Then you have Jharkhand, Odisha. Most of the mix of our exporters from these markets are new. So a lot of new folks and a lot of entrepreneurs and SMBs from these emerging cities, and what we've classified as X and Y category cities and Z category cities, especially Z category cities, Z category cities, which are other cities, non-metros, non-mini metros, they are doing pretty well for us. And this also speaks to the fact that the infrastructure is improving. But if we can enable, like Dr. A said, you have 300 clusters of jewelry manufacturing centers. Imagine how many of these clusters are currently selling without any hassles. I would wager a guess of 2 to 3 of them, right? Rest of them are struggling and they need the infrastructure, as well as we need to help support these clusters to grow. And once we unlock and enable these clusters, it'll be fantastic growth for all of us and the entrepreneurs and SMBs over there. And last but not the least, I think it is important to understand that it is pretty easy to sell. All you need is a GST number. All you need is an importer-exporter code, and platforms, especially platforms like eBay, which is an open marketplace, provide the know-how, knowledge, understanding, as well as the infrastructural support, including logistics service, which we have enabled using our third-party logistics service providers, right? So with that, the immense and the potential is huge. Like the video says, all large, big businesses were small at some point of time. So we encourage all small businesses to come on eBay and become big and export to the world. With that, I hand over to Ashish. Ashish, over to you.
Thank you, Vidmay, and thank you, our guest. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give me my vote of thanks. So let me begin with, while the days leading up to the launch of our India Small Online Business Trade Report were filled with anticipation, now having released the report, our expectations have been replaced by a sense of pride. We are proud to have the opportunity to showcase how eBay has been able to foster a healthy and entrepreneurial environment, particularly for small businesses in India. We are honored that Dr. Ajay Shahai, Director General and CEO, FIO, and Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director, GJEPC, were able to grace the launch event of our report with their esteemed presence. Sirs, your supportive and encouraging remarks are a source of motivation to us at eBay to continue our endeavors to nurture a free and fair entrepreneurial platform that allows access to national and international audiences. We are deeply grateful that you made time to attend the launch of the report, interact with our audience. Thank you very much. It is a matter of pride to us that while 8.8% of traditional Indian firms export, all small businesses enabled by eBay are engaged in export and also have access to customers from 42 different markets. It is a further testament to equal and fair access that eBay has nurtured, that eBay enabled small businesses from India cities of all sizes are exporting at very similar rates. Not only are small businesses on the eBay platform exporters, an overwhelming percentage of them, that is 93%, have recorded sales to 4 or more continents in a year. eBay has therefore not only enabled exports by small businesses, but it has also opened widespread access to global markets. At eBay, it is our endeavor to enable exports from small businesses in a manner that is aligned to priorities set by different states governments and the larger vision of the central government. Our Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, Sri Piyush Goyal, has stated that Indian exports are growing at a healthy rate and will reach the target of USD 400 billion for this year. We share this optimism that India will meet its export target worth USD 450 to 500 billion in the next fiscal year also, and look forward to playing the role of a healthy enabler that will allow this target to be met. We are proud of the contribution we have been able to make so far in the growth of small and medium businesses, particularly from the region beyond Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities, and look forward to opportunity to enhance our commitments. In this journey of ours, the role of our seller community has been invaluable and of utmost importance. While we provide them with the platform for accessing global markets, they have shown exemplary initiative in making the most of the opportunity. We seek their continued trust and support. I would like to extend my gratitude to the members of our seller community who are present here with us today or who are selling their products on eBay platform. Finally, I would also like to thank my fellow colleagues from eBay who are present here on this significant occasion where we have been able to take stock of eBay's growth and map its progress on its commitment for development of small businesses in India. It has truly been heartening experience, and I'm deeply grateful for the time and encouragement of everybody present here. With that note, thank you very much. Thanks for our guest specifically, and as well as seller community on this call. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With this, Pawan, over to you in case we have any.
Thank you very much, Ashish. Actually, Ashish has probably been the person who's most instrumental in getting all of this, especially putting this